with two big internationals to come.
Exactly. Well, I'm a bit disappointed that a couple of our boys are on the bench for Celtic, but you know, we know what Tommy Boyd can do and Jackie McNamara, they're on the bench. But of course Paul Lambert is a key player for us, and unfortunately he's missed the last 5 internationals, or competitive ones.
Yeah, I was surprised when you mentioned that before the programme.
All our qualifying games in this campaign, Dougie, and the 2 England playoff matches. But if we get Paul back fit, that'll be a big bonus for us, and hopefully he'll have a good game today.
People, I think, wonder whether Paul Lambert and Neil Lennon could play together in the Celtic team, because they're similar style of players. The question seems to have been answered, doesn't it?
They are playing, and you know, no one knows them better. Sees them every day, Martin O'Neill, and he's picking the 2 of them together. You know, my preference obviously is for Lambert. I think Lambert is a class act and an outstanding player. But very interesting to see Moravcik possibly playing up front. Now, if he drops off deep and Larsson's up front, what do the Hearts do? What does Presley and Severin do? Does one of them push in, or do they stay there? It'll be a very interesting tactical thing, that. I'm interested to see what will happen.
Yeah, all will become apparent very shortly, but let's get the thoughts of the 2 managers this afternoon, Martin O'Neill in a moment, but firstly, Craig Levein.
Craig, it's a fine afternoon for a game of football. We're going to get an interesting and entertaining tie.
I certainly hope so. We're here to play football and to try and win the game.
You talked about the measure of the progress that Hearts have made. I mean, obviously, if you win this game today, that would really give you a real measurement.
We feel we're heading in the right direction. The players are in today in a positive frame of mind. I can feel it. They've got a little bit of self-belief. We believe that we can come here and get a result.
Not too many changes in your side.
One enforced change. Gordon Jury will be replaced by Wanjo.
But Wanjo, a man, of course, who gave you the draw in the first game against Dundee, he's had a fine season.
He's an exciting player. He thrives on the big stage, and I'm sure that he'll do so today again.
Tactically, do you have something up your sleeve for us today?
That's classified information.
I have to work that out after the game starts. I mean, it's been a great draw, that the 4 ties that were brought up. This looks like the tie of the round.
I certainly hope so. Celtic are a very good, positive, strong side, and we see this as certainly a test of how far we've progressed. But as I said already, we're positive about what we're here to do.
Martin, spring is in the air. Do you think you'll have a spring in your step at the end of the game today?
I hope so. Naturally, it's a difficult game for us, but we're going in with plenty of confidence, Jake. You know, we've reverted back. Stilian Petrov back in again. Obviously, Paul Lambert. Moravcik stays up front alongside Henrik, and we'll just go for it.
Wonderfully gifted player, Lubo Moravcik. The fact that you have to play him up front, does that underline your lack of depth in terms of forward play?
No, I don't think so. I mean, he's played up there before. He knows he's one of those type of players anyway that'll drop off automatically, come into a sort of midfield, and might allow the likes of Stilian maybe just to get forward a little bit more. That's the idea. In practice, it might be something completely different.
Just guessing at Hearts the way they'll play, it looks as if it could be busy in the middle of the park.
It could be, yes, you know, and it looks as if they may well pack the midfield and might just play Kirk up there on his own. I really don't know. Strange things, these games, you know, they can change around so very, very quickly. But having said that, I know that they'll come with plenty of confidence themselves, and to be perfectly honest, whether they pack midfield or not, they have midfield players capable of getting forward, like Colin Cameron.
Thanks, Martin. All the best today.
Thanks very much, Jim.
Yes, there's a man who's enjoying his football at the moment, no doubt about that. Henrik Larsson's a phenomenon, obviously, but Celtic have been very, very solid at the back this year, and that's another of the keys to the success they've been enjoying, isn't it?
Yeah, well, Mialbi, I think he's done very well. I've watched him on a number of occasions. I think he's come on in leaps and bounds in his defending. I think when you get 3 players anyway that are happy to play together, and you get a settled unit like anywhere, they become confident. But the guy Valerian, for me, has made the difference. When I saw him here in, I think, a European tie, I was so impressed with him as a defender.
Been a very good signing, hasn't he?
Martin saw him in the European Championships, and Belgium weren't one of the teams I watched, actually. I'm sure Craig's seen him playing Belgium, but he has impressed me. And I think they've got 3 lads there who actually, well, certainly 2 of them, Mialbi and Valerian, want to defend. And Vega's come in and done a good job, and he's roaming forward and scoring a few goals, but defensively, and Agat, of course. I think Agat has been a super signing. Fantastic player.
Let's talk about Hearts for a moment, Craig. I mean, Craig Levein's settling into the job. He was Mr. Disciplinarian at the beginning, wasn't he? He was a hard man, which he obviously felt he had to be.
Yes, I think so, and I think the players have responded, because they've had some good results after that. You know, I've just been depressed there by Mick talking about Bulgarian, the Belgian centre half. But no, the Hearts are good. They're a solid team, and I think they can blow hot and cold. You see that against Celtic, they've had some poor results. But aware of that, I'm sure they'll tighten up today, and they won't give anything away in the early part of the game. I fear if Celtic score early on, I fear for Hearts, because Celtic could become quite dominant. But I think a good unit there. Flogell's settled in at right full back. 2 good centre backs. Presley's solid. Severn has dropped back from midfield and is doing well in at centre half there. And McCann's a good signing from Airdrie. So he's naturally left side, and that gives them a good balance there.
And of course you'll want to see little Mickey Cameron playing well too, won't you, from an international point of view.
And Wanjo's got an eye for the big occasion. He could do something. So it'll be interesting.
It certainly will, and as you can see, the players come out to a warm reception of what we suspect is maybe not a sellout crowd, very unusually at Celtic Park this season. There have been an awful lot of games recently, and we're looking forward to this one certainly. The Tennent's Scottish Cup quarter-final. It's Celtic against Hearts. Let's join our commentary team, Willie Miller and Rob McLean.
Thanks, Dougie. Hearts could be well forgiven for having an inferiority complex going into this one. They've lost 18 goals in the 4 meetings with Celtic already this season, but previous record doesn't necessarily count against you when you're in a cup quarter-final. Let's remind ourselves of the team's 2 changes for Celtic from the side which started the 4-1 defeat of Dunfermline. In the 4th round replay on Tuesday, Jackie McNamara and Tommy Johnson drop out. Paul Lambert and Stilian Petrov come back in. Peta and Sutton are injured.
Yeah, perhaps a little bit of a surprise. Moravcik through the middle instead of Tommy Johnson, but plenty of movement up there with Larsson and Moravcik.
Onto the Hearts side. Hearts have to make one alteration from the team which started the 1-0 win at Dens Park on Wednesday. Gordon Jury's ruled out because of injury. Craig Levein has decided to bring in Wanjo instead of Gary McSwiggan, who's on the bench. Adam, Wales and Fulton on the injured list.
Stevie Kirk, the lone figure up there, he'll be hoping that June plays not allowed to stay up there on his own. Wanjo and Cameron have got to go up there and support.
I hope it's Andy Kirk and not Stevie Kirk who is up front for Hearts, but it will be interesting to see how this pans out for Hearts in terms of formation. Kenny Clark is the referee for the 3rd of the Tennent's Scottish Cup quarter-finals. Hibs and Livingston have already taken their places in the last 4 of the competition. 2 more places up for grabs. One may be settled at Tannadice later in the day. Dundee United against Rangers, and it's Celtic or Hearts, and Hearts go in as the underdogs, as you would expect. We've already been raving pre-match about Jos Valgaeren. Terrific signing for Martin O'Neill. Antiniemi's kick out. And it's that man Valgaeren on the end of it. Presley's header. Cameron. And Wanjo. That's for Andy Kirk. Good run. In behind Vega. Boyack in support. Danger over for Celtic. Alan Thompson has flitted between central midfield and wide left. Stephen Presley, Cup Winners' Medal at age 18 with Rangers, although he did only play the last 15 seconds. Celtic already looking calm and composed, as you'd expect. Still on the trail of the treble, very much so. Could be an important 8 days for them, with St Johnstone to come in midweek in the league, followed by the CIS Cup final against Kilmarnock next weekend. Neat play from Thompson. Talking of good signings, stopped by Thomas Flogel. Moravcik, Paul Lambert, Jos Valgaeren and Neil Lennon. A challenge from Tomaszek. Thompson tries again. That's for Henrik Larsson. Scott Severin's header. An interesting test of the 22-year-old this afternoon. He's played in just about every position for Hearts. Midfield, up front, and currently, in the absence of Goran Petric, accompanying Stephen Presley in central defence. Very promising player. Flicked on by Vega. It runs through to Larsson. It's well dealt with by Severin. Robert Tomaszek, Stephen Boyack. And back to Antiniemi, £450,000 well spent. The goalkeeper, he was third choice at Ibrox when he came here, and he's been very impressive for Hearts. Comfortable start for Celtic, Willie?
Yeah, playing the ball about really comfortably, full of confidence. But, you know, Hearts look as though they're out there very solid at the back as well.
That's a great pass from Thompson, from Moravcik. Beyond Larsson, and the first corner kick of the match conceded. But what a pass that was from Alan Thompson down the line. Absolutely inch perfect.
Oh, it was a lovely little clip pass just into the space down the left-hand side.
It was Tomaszek who knocked the ball behind. And the first set-piece opportunity for Celtic. And Valharan, Mjalby, Vega all in the box. And it was Ramon Vega. He's in hot goal-scoring form, having struck twice against Dunfermline in midweek.
It's a cross into the box again, and Vega once again getting himself in front of the Hearts defence, not really getting over it enough, and the chance gone.
He seems to only score his goals in doubles, 2 against Aberdeen back in December and 2 on Wednesday. Petrov to Thompson. Tempting ball in again, and the diving header away by Scott Severin. The threats from Celtic so far down the left-hand side. Valharan for Lambert, through to Moravcik. No free kick. There is now, it's to Hearts. I think a bit of handball on the ground.
Yeah, I thought it was a clean tackle. McCann coming in, doing a little bit of covering there. Didn't see anything too wrong with that.
What Hearts haven't done so far is get anywhere near Rob Douglas. Andy Kirk. Thomas Flugel. It's for Juanjo, but he's at a slight disadvantage against Ramon Vega. Well, there's a touch of the ball for the goalkeeper. Not the best use made of it either. The flag up for offside against Kirk. Just over 6 minutes gone. We're watching BBC Scotland, the live match, the third of the Tennant Scottish Cup quarter-finals. No goals so far. And if Hearts can keep Celtic at bay for the first 20 minutes or so, the confidence will grow, the belief will grow. They'll reckon they're due a result against Scotland's top team, having suffered so much this season. Johan Mjalby. For Lubo Moravcik, strong challenge from Scott Severin. It's so important that Hearts show they're competing here. Well, looked like an advantage on there, but the whistle went from Kenny Clark. Juanjo's header. Valharan had it, then lost it, and now he's got it back. And Thomas Flogel is in a bit of trouble, and he'll need some treatment. This is challenge on Valharan, but confident that he can run off the problem.
Colin Cameron going in for the tackle. I didn't see too much wrong with that challenge. In fact, referee not giving anything, starting it with a throw-in.
Presley to Niemi. Finish number 1. Vega, controlled header, finds Petrov. Paul Lambert linking the play together. Now Mjalby for Moravcik. Hits the deck. No free kick. Goal kick. Luba Moravcik has had almost as many subs appearances this season as starts. 12 times he's come off the bench. He started only 17 games, but he has hit double figures for goals. So even though he comes into the games late on, sometimes he invariably has an impact. Kirk, the 21-year-old. Possession given away. And back from Petrov to Rob Douglas. Severin again winning the aerial duel with Moravcik. Alan Thompson. Strong play from Petrov. Held off the challenge of Cameron. Now Thompson driven in. Presley's header away. It was Mikel. Only as far as Petrov. And that's wide.
Nice bit of play down the left-hand side, eventually ending up with Thompson having the strike at goal.
Petrov, in fact it was, Willie, with the right foot effort, but wide of target. But Alan Thompson has been a key player for Celtic so far. When Hearts get the ball, they really want to keep it. And Mikel finds Wangjo. It's given away. Trying his best to win it back. But you don't want to help out Celtic by handing them possession, that's for sure. Didier Agat, the maroon shirt swarming around him. And Craig Levein is on the touchline waving furiously towards his players. I'm sure keeping the ball is a message that he'll have been preaching in the dressing room pre-match. Presley's headed away. Lambert. Now Lennon. Henrik Larsson makes a run at the edge of the area. Didier Agat sets off, early ball in. Awkward header for Presley. And he's got more time to clear. Back from Kirk. Andy Kirk shakes off Johan Mjalby. Or tries to. Austin McCann and Robert Tomaszek. That's off Mjalby. Craig Levein looking as if he wants to be on the pitch rather than off it. It's off Paul Lambert. Interesting to hear from Craig Brown pre-match that he's missed the last 5 Scotland games. Everyone would want Paul Lambert on their team. That's 12 minutes down, Willie, and maybe Hearts getting some encouragement.
I think it's very solid from them. They look very confident at the back and they've tried to play football. One thing Craig Levein won't be too happy about is the fact that they haven't really made any impact against the Celtic back three.
Here's one of the back three, Valharan. Alan Thompson. Ramon Vega. A little bit more popular Parkhead, who was at White Hart Lane. That's given away by a gap. Good interception by Lee Makel. The pass for Juanjo, but that's terrific play from Stilian Petrov to intercept. You could see him anticipating the pass, and back he went to cut out the ball which was heading for Juanjo. Thomas Flogel for Colin Cameron. The pass played with too much pace. Valharan. Celtic doing what they do so well, keeping possession when they have it, pushing the ball around the pitch and waiting for the right moment to change gear. They could do so now with a Agat. 1 against 2, that's off McCann. Corner kick. 5 traumatic years at Airdrie for Austin McCann, and he might have a traumatic afternoon in prospect here facing Didier Agat as well.
Well, it's a powerful run from Agat, but disappointing use of the ball. Attempt to cross into the box wasn't good at all.
So Valharan and Mjalby and Vega and Larsson all waiting. In from Alan Thompson, and it's off the line, and a chance for Moravcik. There's Mjalby, and cleared by Juanjo. And Neil Lennon. Didier Agat heading for the byline, turns it back. Tomaszek heads it away. Moravcik, Vega, goal kick. But I think Hearts marking at the far post from the corner kick, Willie, almost put them in trouble.
Some very poor defending from Hearts. Petrov getting himself free. All it needs there is a little touch from any of 2 Celtic players, and that ball would end up in the back of the net.
I think Hearts were so obsessed with Valgarin and Vega and Mjalby that they lost sight of Stilian Petrov making the far post run. It was his header, and it was Lee Makel to the rescue who knocked that off the line. So that's the biggest threat to Hearts so far. Difficult job though picking up Celtic at set pieces, because there's so many potential dangers.
Well, it is, but you've really got to match up. There's only the same amount of players on the park, and you've got to make sure that you're getting the big ones picked up by all means, but of course you can't allow Petrov to sneak in at the back post.
And of course it was Stilian Petrov who opened the scoring last Sunday in our live match at Dunfermline. Still just 21, Bulgarian international. A difficult start to his Celtic career, but he's flourishing now. Looks a top-class player. Neil Lennon, determination, flipped on from Moravcik. That's a good challenge from Scott Severin to win it for Hearts, and Moravcik won it back. Never quiet on the touchline for long is Martin O'Neill. Jos Valharan. Scotland will have to face up to him in a couple of weeks' time in the World Cup qualifiers at London. Lambert. Thompson keeping himself onside, deflected off Thomas Flogel. And Antti Niemi had to make a quick adjustment. Delivered with pace again by Thompson, Willie.
It was, yeah, he found some great space down the left-hand side, but again, the quality of the cross has got to be better.
Stephen Presley keeping calm and cool. Lee Makel for Andy Kirk, offside. It did end up in the back of the net, but the game had been stopped by that stage.
Andy Kirk perhaps just a little bit too quick off his mark. Difficult to see from that angle, but linesman given the free kick anyway.
Lambert to Lennon. And Petrov, the third member of the central core of the Celtic midfield. Thompson's pass cut out this time by Flugel. But that's possession relinquished again by Hearts. Free kick given against Lee Makel for the heavy challenge on Petrov. But that's nearly 18.5 minutes gone for Hearts. Still goalless. Thompson's free kick. And touched away by Severin to Boyack. Claiming he didn't get a shout there, Stephen Boyack, because he was caught in possession. Free kick given for a little bit of shirt tugging in the midfield. An opportunity for Hearts to launch the ball towards the Celtic penalty box. We haven't seen that happening so far. But it all fizzles out. Goal kick.
Yeah, Hearts looking pretty solid defensively, but as an offensive unit, not offering much to this game at all. I think that Craig Levein will be now looking for his players to get up and support Wanjo and Cam in particular, because Andy Kirk definitely has a lone figure and Craig Levein won't be happy about that.
That came off Makel, didn't know too much about it. Larsson to Agat. Testing out McCann for pace and for power. In from Agat. Cleared by Flugel. It was an inviting little cutback. And again, Hearts can't keep the ball. Valharan to Moravcik. And that's a bad challenge from behind by Thomas Flugel in the first yellow card of the match. And I don't think really you can argue too much about it.
No, I thought that was a very nasty one from Flugel, no doubt about it. He came in very solidly on Moravcik from the back. Illegal challenge. Moravcik there limping a little bit, obviously feeling the effects of that. A very strong challenge.
Thompson's free kick, and Henrik Larsson on the end of it. But the challenge from Scott Severin was important there because it ensured that Larsson didn't get a free header.
Larsson getting the touch on it, but
maybe if he had a little bit more hair in his head, he might have stuck that away.
But Severin doing well. You know, he definitely just did enough to put Larsson off.
Paul Lambert's header goes astray. Wanjo, and doing the covering work, Ramon Vega. Lee Makel. Wanjo to Boyack. Now Flugel. Wanjo's cross. Yalby's header away. Hearts hesitating at the edge of the area. And any chance of getting a shot on goal is gone. Celtic counter-attack with Agat. So elusive, Didier Agat. Thought he was going to try and beat the whole team there.
Oh, he is elusive. He's so quick, but he's got enough lot of strength. I would have liked the referee to allow him to continue that run, because we see here a great example of pace, skill and strength, taking the ball down initially the right hand side, then cutting in on the park.
Ramon Vega, an easy clearance for Stephen Presley. But again, it's Andy Kirk who's the only man forward for Hearts. Back it comes from Lennon. And that's a good play from Thomas Flugel. He's conceded a corner kick, but he had to get there because Lubo Moravcik had crept in behind him.
Yeah, the idea was right, wasn't it, from Lennon? Almost a perfect pass over the top of Flogel, just managing to get a touch on it.
Danger again for Hearts. Presley got his head to it. Back from Larsson, a miscue from Agant. Cleared by Cameron. That's a Hearts free kick. Juanjo doing well there against Thompson, just putting his body in between Thompson and the ball, and he gets the nod on the decision.
It's an important role for Juanjo down the right hand side there. He's got to get himself in front of Thompson, make sure he doesn't advance.
Meikle for Andy Kirk, supported by Cameron. Yalby's header away. First there was McCann. From Lambert to Vega. And Valharan virtually an ever-present this season since signing. Missed a couple of matches because of injury. Moravcik's pass. Didn't give it quite enough for Larsson. Meikle. Dangerous hesitation there from Lee Meikle. Kirk. Breaks for Severin, and Severin's pass too heavily hit for Robert Tomaszek. But just signs that Hearts, having dug themselves in, now might just start to play a bit.
They've had a good little spell, yeah. They seem to be concentrating more and getting forward. Still Celtic, the dominant side, but encouraging signs from Hearts, yeah.
Lennon to Lambert, these two so key to what Martin O'Neill's team have achieved so far this season. Tomaszek, Boyack, Meikle. Foul by Moravcik and Meikle.
Meikle taking a strong one here from Moravcik, and Moravcik a little bit fortunate, I feel, just to get off with a talking to from referee there. That was a nasty one in from behind, and look at Moravcik, he won't be too proud of that one when he sees that again.
You get the feeling that the Flugel's foul was bookable, that one was too, but Moravcik escapes and Lee Meikle is still hobbling. More live football to come on the BBC. St Johnstone against Hibs on the 1st of April at McDermott Park in the SPL. Meikle with Lennon right at his back. Presley chased by Moravcik, and he doesn't want to take any liberties. Yemi for Kirk. Meikle. Interception by Lambert. It was a shall we dance moment with Stephen Voyak. Foul goes against him. Moravcik to Petrov, left it to Larsson. Now Petrov again. Struck it on the half volley and didn't really strike it as well as he would have liked to have done.
It's nice little build-up play here, nice dummy from Petrov, but he never really set himself up to give himself an opportunity to get that one in target.
Has scored 8 goals this season for Celtic, Petrov. Straight at Neil Lennon. Presley to Severin. I think Severin's been as impressive as anyone so far for Hearts, Willie.
I think he's had a fantastic start to this game. He's read the game so well. He's intercepted a number of build-up plays from Celtic, and I think so far he's been excellent.
He's 22 and he's Scottish. And only 6 Scots started this match. 2 for Celtic, 4 for Hearts. Larsson's layoff. That's a good challenge again from the man we've just been talking about, Scott Severin. Stephen Boyack couldn't get it under control, but there's Severin again scrapping to win it back for Hearts. Cameron, Flugel, Hwanjo. You can feel Hearts beginning to grow a bit. Hwanjo again. That was an attempt to square the ball across the 6-yard box, and Ramon Vega intercepted, but much better from Hearts.
Oh, far better from Hearts. Their best move of the game. Perhaps Hwanjo taking the wrong option there. Kurt getting himself that little bit deeper, and perhaps a cutback was on.
But Hearts would like to see Hwanjo getting further and further forward in this match in support of Kirk Presley up into the box. Corner kick taken short. Severin threw himself towards it. It's Tomaszek, and the shot blocked by Jos Valhaeren. That's top-class defending. He was very quickly out, sensing the danger. Tomaszek, of course, who took Hearts to this stage with his replay winner in midweek. But a good little spell, Willie.
Yeah, definitely, the best spell of the match for Hearts. They're getting bodies forward. I think that's important. They've bedded themselves in. They've got past the early stage, and they're now looking to attack Celtic.
Lambert won the header, but he was fouled in the process by Lee Mayco. Free kick. Nearly half an hour played in the BBC Live match. Celtic 0, Hearts 0. And it's looking well poised at the moment. And Hearts really have to gather confidence from the way they've played so far and impose themselves more and more on the match. Moravcik beaten by Severin, and that's off Agat. Hearts throw. We might be running out of adjectives about him by the time the afternoon's out. Severin again. Now Moravcik. Scott Severin winning so much ball for Hearts. He is everywhere at the moment. I think Craig Brown will be taking some note of this performance from Severin. I'm sure he's seen a fair bit of him already, but he is looking a very polished performer. Larsson to Thompson. Going beyond Hwanjo, in for Moravcik. He was leaning back as he got his head to it.
There's a better burst down the left from Thompson, and a far superior cross than anything we've saw so far. Moravcik just getting himself too far in front of the ball.
Neil Lennon to Alan Thompson. 2 of the newcomers at Celtic this season. Henrik Larsson makes mistake, shocker. Kept in by Hwanjo. But again, Andy Kirk, an isolated figure up front for Hearts. Vega to Mjällby. Good run from Mjällby. Now finds Larsson. Neat little flick. Plays it on to Moravcik. Lambert. Mjällby involved again. Lambert trying to force it wide for Thompson. Larsson's there, and Moravcik's header over the top.
Yeah, Thompson's crosses are getting better and better, but Moravcik won't be too happy with that effort and goal. Superb cross here from Thompson, curling towards the back post, but my, what a poor header there from Moravcik.
You got the feeling he almost had too much time there under that one, Lubo Moravcik, and it wasn't the test of Niemi. Breakdown in communication between Mikel and Cameron in the midfield for Hearts. Lee Makel again hobbling. He took a knock earlier on. Maybe struggling a little bit, Lee Makel. Here he is. Stephen Boyack. And that's poor. Straight at Moravchik. You don't want to do that. Petrov. Here's Henrik Larsson. Saved by Niemi. And that's a brilliant saving tackle by Stephen Presley, which denies Celtic the opening goal. And Stephen Boyack will be relieved.
Certainly will, but Larsson won't be too pleased with that finish, but a super save from Niemi. What about this tackle coming up? Stephen Presley using all his experience to clear the danger.
You'd have been proud of that one yourself.
Certainly would.
Presley and Niemi save Hearts. Now a corner kick to defend. In from Thompson. And Agat won the header at the far post, and it's another corner kick. Niemi under pressure.
Henrik Larsson here, that was a real opportunity. He'll be disappointed with that finish.
In comes Moravchik's corner kick. It's Presley, and it's Lambert's effort, which is blocked by Cameron. Lennon to Vega. It was Flugel who got the header. Lambert to Thompson. In fact, it's Moravchik. Vega stretching out. Now Petrov. Larsson! Saved again by Niemi. And turned away by Flugel. Still in play. Vega's after it. Settles for the throw. You had a lot of money there on Henrik Larsson opening the scoring for Celtic. Not as spectacular a save this time from Niemi, but certainly no less important. A long throw from Valharan to Vega, away by Juanjo. Hearts now trying to push out, and Celtic will try to keep the Tynecastle team hemmed in. Thompson. Agat, instant control, he's beyond McCann. Opportunity here, well, opportunity gone.
Wasted opportunity from Agat.
But great goalkeeping, Willie, again, so important here in Niemi.
Superb, but again, Larsson will be disappointed. Just goes for the little flick, but it doesn't really get enough air on it. He really would be looking to bulge the net with this one. You can see what he's trying to do, just get a little flick over the top, actually stubs his toe there, and it's an easy task for Niemi to clear.
Still had to be there though, the goalkeeper spread himself well in front of Larsson to make the save. Hearts standing firm, and they will be delighted if they can get to half-time goalless. That's Tomaszek and Boyack. Stephen Boyack needing too much time on the ball, and he's frustrated with himself and lashes out against Johan Mjalby. That's a booking against his name, Boyack, but his own worst enemy here, because he lost possession. He should have kept it.
He did, yeah. He was put under pressure, and then he goes in with the lunging tackle. It was actually his trailing the leg that caught Mjalby. He actually got quite a bit of the ball on that challenge, but you can see the frustration in his face.
Eight and a half minutes left in the first half. No goals at Celtic Park, but it's been an entertaining cup tie. The dynamics of this match very interesting, in that Hearts started with a five-man midfield trying to hold Celtic early on, but as the first half has developed, they're trying to play more and more football, but Celtic will always threaten. Hearts so far have kept them out. Thompson to Petrov. Lennon to Larsson. Presley right behind him. Petrov so strong on the ball. Larsson for Agat. pass just slid away from him. Tomaszek was a bit over elaborate, and Scott Severin doing the covering in behind him, and it's a yellow card for Johan Mjalby for his challenge on the Hearts defender.
Yeah, he just kept his body in there as he went through. Mjalby, a real sore one there for Severin. You can see the leg just coming in there from Mjalby, taking Severin out. I don't think there's any doubt that that was indeed a bookable offence, and Scott Severin looking in some considerable pain.
So a booking for Mjalby, and let's hope that Severin's okay, because he's been one of the star turns in the match so far. He's come through the Hearts system, and he's a player certainly that Craig Levein will want to keep hold of, and I'm sure he's a player that he'll want to build the team around in many respects.
Well, he's been so influential in the first half of this game, and Craig Levein will be an anxious man this moment in time. He won't want to make any change at the heart of that very solid Hearts defence.
Just over 6 minutes left in the first half at Celtic Park. 0-0. Live match on BBC Scotland. Dundee United against Rangers coming later, live on Radio Scotland. And then the draw for the semi-finals, Hibs and Livingston already there. Larsson to Thompson. Wanjo in front of him. Thompson gets beyond him on his right foot. Now a Gat. Into the feet of Lambert. Presley got himself in the way. It's good play from Kirk, holding the ball up and finding Wanjo. And a late challenge on Wanjo. He just knocked the ball away. Seeing Petrov was committed to the challenge.
It was Petrov, yeah, and just catching Wanjo. I didn't think there was too much malice in the challenge. It felt as though Petrov went for the ball cleanly, just it was his timing that was out.
Celtic with the bulk of the possession, as you'd expect, but still to make a breakthrough. Larsson's layoff. Petrov to Thompson. That's a nice touch from Alan Thompson. Time to measure the cross. And what a header from Henrik Larsson. The deadlock is broken 5 minutes from half-time. Hearts have kept Larsson at bay so far, but finally Larsson hits the mark.
Well, it's been coming, hasn't it? And Thompson, his crosses just have been getting better and better. He looks up and he picks his spot, and who better to put it onto the head of than Henrik Larsson, who makes absolutely a superb header into the far corner. Niemi really can't do anything about that one.
Superb power on this header. He waits for it, and he just crunches the header into the top corner, and Antti Niemi got a good hand to it, but he couldn't keep it out, and Martin O'Neill will be pleased that the pressure has finally paid off, and Celtic have their noses in front with Henrik Larsson's 43rd goal of the season. He's chasing all sorts of records, and his goal scoring is phenomenal.
He'll be a happier man now, because he's had 2 excellent chances to put Celtic in the lead. It's third time lucky for Henrik Larsson and Celtic.
He's not one to worry himself too much, Henrik Larsson, about missed opportunities. You can see that from the way he plays, and he'd all the confidence in the world as he bulleted that header past Antti Niemi. And now within sight of Charlie Nicholas's post-war goal-scoring record for Celtic of 48 goals in a season, and the all-time best of Jimmy McGrory, which Willie will remember from back in the 30s when he scored 50. Were you playing then?
Just missed it.
Severin won it. Mikel to Tomaszek. Test of character now for Hearts. How will they respond, having done so well in the first half, but they're now a goal behind. And that's a foul. Severin on Larsson. And Hearts want to maintain their composure in the closing minutes of the half. 2.5 minutes to go. Maybe a minute or so to be added. We'll wait and see. Severin slipped and then recovered. His pass beyond Boyack. That's a neat touch from Valharan. And hitting the deck, off the ball. Stilian Petrov. His muddied strip, a little bit dirtier. Antiniemi's clearance. Took too long, Michael. And he's given possession away. Moravchik, it's away from Larsson. But it might work for Alan Thompson. Cleared by Flugel. Good touch from Wanjo. Cameron couldn't get on the end of it. Larsson easing away from Michael. Here's Neil Lennon. Might well have been a crack at goal there, Neil Lennon. It was well set up for him. He scored his first goal for the club last Sunday on the BBC. Agat forcing it in. Severin there at the near post, taking charge. Michael, Boyack, now Kirk. Struggling in that physical battle with Vega. Mjalby. Moravchik, Lambert. Celtic clearly buoyed by the Larsson goal. And now they'll look to add to it. The last time Hearts were here, they lost 6-1. It was a very strong Celtic performance. Agat against McCann. Boyack there too. Support comes from Lennon. How often do you see that in a match? Lambert. Valharan. Thompson's the wide man. Into the feet of Petrov. Now Lambert. Moravchik. Severin won it. And Austin McCann with the clearance. Inside stoppage time at the end of the first half. Celtic in pole position in this cup quarter-final. And that's a bad foul on Petrov. And it's a yellow card for Michael. The crime count growing.
Yeah, coming in late to Michael with a challenge. Don't think there's any doubt that that deserves a yellow card. The referee right on the spot to spot it as well.
Four yellow cards so far, 3 for Hearts, Michael, Flugel and Boyack. Mjalby for Celtic. The other vital statistic is Henrik Larsson's 43rd goal of the season, which makes the difference so far. Didier Agat, 90 seconds added to the 45 minutes. Presley's header. Petrov onto it. Half-time. And Celtic are in front. And surprise, surprise, it was Henrik Larsson. His 43rd goal of the season. Antiniemi finally beaten, having made 2 good saves to deny Larsson. He could do little about the crashing header, which ended up in the top corner of the net. The Hearts, who've been very brave and played with a fair bit of quality as well, finally having to admit defeat. Thompson's cross and Larsson. I guess Hearts will look back at this and see that Henrik Larsson was afforded far too much time and room and in those sort of circumstances he tends to punish you. Henrik Larsson's goal, will he give Celtic the edge?
Yeah, and deservedly so. They made a couple of chances and they fell to Henrik Larsson and he missed them, but in the third opportunity he certainly made a real go of it, to putting the ball into the top corner. Celtic being the dominant side, Hearts have set themselves out tactically to try and thwart and frustrate Celtic. It's worked up to a point, but I don't think there's any doubt that Celtic deserved their lead at half-time.
The third of the Tennant Scottish Cup quarter-finals. Celtic, at the moment, look to be heading towards the last four. They lead by 1-0.
Thanks to Robin Willie. Yes, a 1-0 scoreline, which if anything maybe flatters Hearts a little bit. Celtic completely dominant. Mick McCarthy and Craig Brown with me. Craig, your namesake Craig Levine's got some problems, hasn't he?
I think so, yeah, particularly at set pieces, because every corner coming in, every free kick, there's a consternation there in that defence. There's no marking. I think they're marking zonally. And Vega, the power of Celtic in the air is unbelievable, with big Vega coming up, Malby coming up, of course Larsson exceptional in the air, Valgaeren. So that's the main problem, but of course the goal was a header which we predicted. We're talking about it, and as usual Larsson. But surprising that I didn't see out there Flogel when Thompson went down. I think it was Colin Cameron who made the despairing tackle. The cross came in, Severn had been injured. Now I'm going to excuse him because he was limping badly when that cross came in, and he's been marking Larsson in the air, and Larsson of course got in front of him and the ball was in the back of the net.
Yeah, but it's frustrating, because from a coach's point of view, that's fairly basic stuff. You know, it's no great surprise that Celtic's big lads at the back come up for corners and free kicks. You've got to be ready for that, haven't you?
From the very first corner we were watching them, and we've been discussing Ramon Vega and his goal scoring exploits, and he's good in his A. He attacks the corners very well and free kicks. We just sat outside watching. I said he's on his own. Nobody's even tried to block him or stop him. If they can't beat him in the air, they've got to try and at least stop him heading the ball cleanly. And I think the first three corners and a free kick, they had free headers and could have scored from them. And it is, even if the coach has set something up, I think some of the players out there have got to say, hang on a minute, we can't let this keep happening, and somebody's got to stop it. But they didn't, and it was no surprise when they did score with a header, although it was from free play and not a free kick.
Well, as you said, there were so many warning signs early on. In fact, it wasn't just the big defenders getting headers in. Stilian Petrov came in with this header, and Lee Michael, in fact, does well to clear it off the line, Craig.
Yeah, you can see he's totally unmarked there. They're marking zonally along the 6-yard line, and it's a very good clearance off the line, because that's why he's there, and all credit to Hearts for defending the goal line. But I think there should have been a man marking the ball over the top. It's a very good delivery, and he gets a powerful header, does exactly the right thing, plays it a good dummy by Mjalby there, and Michael saves it well on the goal line.
Yes, the warning signs were there clearly. Hearts, in fact, have been a disappointment, Craig, haven't they? They've really not posed much of a threat.
No, they haven't, unfortunately. They had one goal which was offside, and Kirk, that's what I think they were depending on. The occasional breakaway will maybe get a goal against the run of play, but they are defending very, very much more deep. They're getting deeper and deeper and deeper. And if they stay like that, I'm afraid in the second half it could be goals for Celtic. I think Craig Levine will say to him, Peter Houston and Craig Levine, get out, defend further forward, because Moravcek's not going to run in behind. Maybe Larsson will on occasion, but Larsson's been well marked as well. Presley's done well, I felt. So is Severn until he got injured. So they could compete if they moved upfield a bit.
Yeah, Mick, this was a chance for Larsson, a very good save, and then the tackle which follows, which was terrific.
They were having a number of chances at this stage. That's a fantastic save, but the tackle from Presley is fantastic. I think, actually, is it Petrov following up?
Yes.
I think he just thinks he's going to side foot it into an empty net, Maybe he just thinks he's going to walk onto this and just side foot it in, and was quite surprised when Presley came with it. I'm sat watching the game. I expected him to roll it in the net. It was a fantastic tackle. It really was. But the chances were coming there. They were getting a number of chances, and they're starting to open them up right at the end of that the first half. Yeah,
and you expect maybe more of that in the second half as well, Craig, don't you? Because Hearts are going to have to come out now, obviously.
I've got to say, Dougie, I fear for Hearts in the second half. Celtic are dominant, they're making chances, and as the legs go towards the end, and the spirit might go as well.
Yeah, this is another Larsson opportunity, and another save from Antti Niemi, who had a terrific game here, I remember, last time Hearts, where they lost 6-1, and it might have been 10 or 12, but Antti Niemi had a terrific match. It sounds ridiculous when you've lost 6-1, but he's a good goalkeeper, and he's been busy in this first half.
That's good goalkeeping, he stays up, and Larsson tries to chip him, just loft it over as he does so well and so often, but excellent goalkeeping by Niemi, as we've seen throughout the whole. In fact, he nearly got his hand to the goal.
It's the lack of ambition. Their ambition was to try and nick something, as Craig said, but now they've got to change. Surely they're down, and I would hate to go out of a cup tie with such lack of ambition. You might as well get beat 3 or 4 having a right crack at it than settling for a 1 or a 2-0. It's no result for me that at all.
The goal which we're going to see now, Alan Thompson played a big part in, obviously, and again he's been almost an unsung hero for Celtic this season. He gets in great crosses from the left.
We were discussing his left foot, his ability to get good crosses in, but it's a fantastic header. I thought the keeper actually at the time had saved it, he got his hand to it, but it was the movement to Larsson that fooled them. Actually, he ran in for the cross and he just pulled out, and as it's cut back to him, it's a fantastic header. He is terrific in the air, he really is.
Yeah, the delivery's great. The header's terrific as well. But he's so clear on the left there. It's the fact that he's so clear out there that it's quite disappointing from the Hearts' point of view. But that delivery is magnificent, and a header back against the goalkeeper's balance is excellent as well.
It was the defender going out. Was it Wanjo that went out? And if he stands up on his feet and makes him at least try and beat him, but once he goes to ground, he's got a free put in. But fantastic header.
So 1-0 to Celtic at half-time. Let's just leave this match for a moment and talk about the responsibilities you guys have got in the next couple of weeks. Craig, obviously we've got Belgium and San Marino. Mick, you've got having had a terrific start with those draws in Holland and Portugal, which is fantastic. And now you've got 2 away games, Cyprus and Andorra, which I'm sure you'll be looking for 6 points from.
Well, we are. I was saying to Craig before, and if we don't get 6 points, then the Lynch party's out. Reality is we've got, Cyprus is a tough game. I've been talking to Craig about that, as they played them a couple of years ago, was it? And they beat Spain in a qualifier in Cyprus. Holland beat them 4-0, but it was 76 minutes, it was 0-0. And then they nick 1, and of course they get beat 4. But it wasn't a reflection on the game. That's a difficult one, Andorra, of course, we have to get 6 points out of the 2 Andorra games, home and away. And if we're going to win the group, I suspect we have to get 3 from the Cyprus game. It's a far tougher assignment that people give.
But you have given yourselves a terrific chance with those 2 away points, which I know you were impressed with, Craig. To get away draws in Holland and Portugal.
Can't believe Mick's talking about a Lynch mob. Is there a Lynch mob over there as well? But seriously, what a start. We were talking just after the draw in Japan, and we spoke about getting away fixtures. And I was saying to Mick, if you get away fixtures to start with, that's the best possible scenario. He got the away fixtures, and what results against Portugal and Holland. Now, we've done okay. We haven't played particularly well, except I think in patches against Croatia we played well. Now, if we can maintain that, if we get a full strength side, which keep my fingers crossed for the next couple of weeks, that they'll all be fit. If they're fit, the Belgian game here is crucial.
Is it vital for us to beat Belgium, or would a draw not be? It wouldn't be terminal, but you obviously want to win it.
We want to win the game. We're reasonably good away from home. We've proved that, and I think we can go to Brussels and get something. But it would be a terrific cushion if we can win the home game. And that's obviously the objective. Win that one, and then hopefully get some goals against San Marino.
You can't put yourself under pressure though to say it would be terminal if you didn't win it, because, and as I was saying, we've got Portugal and Holland to come to our place, and you don't know what results you're going to get. You sit down and look at them at the start, but reality is, something can come up and kick you in the pants very quickly, and you have to then redress the problem and get a result somewhere else.
You're back to the old 1 game at a time thing. It's the only way to treat it, isn't it?
I'm not allowed to say the cliche stuff.
I know, but that's why it's a cliche, isn't it?
I wanted you to say it, Dougie.
All right, let's take a look back to yesterday then, and Hibs and Livingston, both of those terrific cup wins yesterday. They're looking forward to the semi-final draw later this evening. Here's how they won their quarter-finals yesterday afternoon.
Latterby against Wiley. Gets the pass through for John O'Neill. Here's a chance, and again. Glorious opportunity for O'Neill to give Hibs the lead. McPherson for Holt. Just too high. Spectacular effort from Alan Mahood. And this is really Kilmarnock's first serious effort on goal. We're in the last chance saloon, surely. Latterby with it. It's the winning goal. And it's Tom McManus who's settled this cup tie right to the end.
with the cross. There's a lovely back heel looking for Stewart, and then the shot coming in, and Martin Johnson has opened the scoring for Peterhead with only 7 minutes gone. What a start for the visitors. Wilson fighting it in, there's Anderson, and Livingston have pulled level. 20 minutes gone. John Anderson. Wilson again with a corner, as a glancing header, and knocked in by John Anderson. Well, worth goal that by Livingston. John Anderson gets his second goal of the match. Steve Dosh. Wilson always delivers a good ball, and there's Bingham, and Livingston are 3-1 up. Barry Wilson again involved in the creation, and Bingham enjoyed that one. It's goal number 20 of the season for David Bingham, and the flick for the outside of the left foot. Curry with not a chance.
So Hibs and Livingston already through to the semi-finals, and here's the competition which could allow you to see your team in the Tennent Scottish Cup semi-finals, courtesy of the sponsors, a VIP day out. All you have to do is tell us which team won the first ever Scottish Cup competition. Which team won the first ever Scottish Cup? Send us your entries to semi-final competition, BBC Sport Scotland, Queen Margaret Drive, Glasgow G12 8DG. You can email us as well, of course, but don't forget to tell us which team you would like to see, and obviously you might want to wait until after today's 2 matches before making that decision. But tell us which team won the first ever Scottish Cup competition, and the answer, of course, is right there. Don't get too close, but the name is there, I promise you, back in 1873-74. So it's 1-0 for Celtic over Hearts here at Celtic Park. Second half coming up. We hear of one substitution for Hearts. Grant Murray will be on for Stephen Boyack, but dramatic changes from the Hearts if they're going to do anything here, Mick, because they've been absolutely outclassed so far. Yeah, they've had it so easy off Celtic. They've been pushing forward, and Hearts have done all the defending. For a game of it, Hearts really have to put somebody else up front, maybe 2 or 3 up front, and have a go at it. But the way the first half went, there's not much chance of it happening. Yeah, they'll be looking to Wanjo and Andy Kirk, obviously, if they are going to do anything, Craig, but they've been pretty well shackled so far. Yeah, they have been. They had one chance only. There was a good cutback from Wanjo. When he had choice of 3 Hearts players in the 6 yards box, his cutback was intercepted. That's really the only chance apart from the offside one. So twice upfield is hardly good statistics for the first half. So hopefully Hearts will come out, make a game of it, and as Mick says, let's see them having a go and not to capitulate tamely there, as looks like it could be the case. Yeah, well, it's a big 45 minutes ahead for Hearts. They trail by a 1-0 against the Celtic side, whose confidence, as we know, is high, and who lead through Henrik Larsson's 43rd goal of the season, and his 7th in 4 matches against Hearts this season. Let's enjoy the second half then. Let's rejoin Willie and Rob.
It's easy for us to talk about what Craig Levein should or shouldn't do in the second half. He's got the big decisions to make inside the dressing room at half-time, and he will be reflecting on the previous scorelines between these two this season. There's the substitution. Grant Murray is on, Stephen Boyack is off, which will presumably mean that Thomas Flugel will be pushed further forward, and Wanjo may have a more attacking role to play as well. Hearts have to have a go, but they also have to reflect on the defeats they've suffered this season against Celtic. 4-2 at Tynecastle back in August, 5-2 in the CIS Cup in November, 6-1 here just a few weeks later, and then they lost 3-0 at Tynecastle in February. A total of 18 goals. There's the prime count so far booked. Yalby for Celtic, Flugel, Boyack and Makel of Hearts. Eyes down for the second half. Hearts 1 down. Can they find the appropriate response? Well, Thomas Flugel at the moment, pretty much where he was. And Grant Murray slotting into the midfield.
It looks like just a straight swap, Murray for Boyack, but it gives Craig Levein the option, of course, during the course of this second half to perhaps make that change and put Murray to full back and Fogel up front.
Difficult decision though, isn't it, in terms of what Craig Levein does?
Yeah, it certainly is. He doesn't want egg in his face. Well, he's got to have a go as well.
Didier Agat eyeing the penalty box, lofted in for Vega, and Petrov! Great strike. Thankfully for Antiniemi, it was straight at the Hearts keeper.
Yeah, never an easy one to take there from Petrov. Vega doing all the damage there, but Petrov stretching a little bit. Fortunately, straight at Niemi.
Did well to squeeze this through because Stephen Presley was right on him. Celtic threatening inside 60 seconds of the restart. Presley's under pressure, does well. Dropped out by Flugel. Now Murray and Mikel. It's good play from Grant Murray. Colin Cameron. Hearts want to see him further forward. He's got a free kick there. Hearts top scorer with 15 goals so far. And Craig Levein would love to think that he's going to get a lot closer to Andy Kirk in this second half. Mikel. Skipper Cameron. Wanjo. Cleared by Valhaden. Austin McCann, the 21-year-old, playing his fourth match for Hearts. Wanjo to Cameron. Wanjo again. Good ball in. And Robert Tomaszek wasn't too far away. McCann to Cameron. Shot wide. But that was a heartening little moment as Wanjo got himself to the byline.
It's as good as we've saw from Hearts. Good cross in here from Wanjo, looking to hit Tomaszek, who's can time his run at the back post, but Gat just doing enough there to clear the danger.
And that's the follow-up effort from Cameron, which I think Robert Douglas was pretty comfortable about.
Yeah, it never really caused him any concern whatsoever, I didn't feel.
Didier Agat doing another important bit of defending for Celtic. What a signing he's been. Maybe gets a little bit boring, we rave about him so much, but he was back with an important jump against Tomaszek at the far post to make sure that the Slovak didn't get a clean header at Wanjo's cross. Tomaszek loses out to Agat again. Petrov. Thompson. Another tempting ball in. Severin cleared it. Mikel to Wanjo. Flugel. Too close to Valhaden. Thompson to Moravcik. Presley there first. It really was a wonderful challenge by Presley and Petrov in the first half, which denied the Bulgarian the opening goal. Neil Lennon at the heart of the action. There's so much fetching and carrying. Larsson beaten by Severin. Cameron to McCann. Severin to Presley. Now Flugel. Alan Thompson shutting him down very quickly, making him hurry with the pass. Hearts looking to find some control in the midfield. Easier said than done when you're facing up to Lennon and Lambert and Petrov. Strong challenge from Ramon Vega against Andy Kirk. 5.5 minutes into the second half. Still Henrik Larsson's goal is the difference. Number 43 of the season for him. Good run by Flugel. That was much more positive from Hearts, taking a direct route into the penalty box.
Yeah, it was very positive from Thomas Flogel. Celtic players just getting out his road. Didn't think there was any challenge there at all, but better play from Hearts.
Presley's header away. Here is Flugel. Mikel stumbled, but he'd still got the pass away. McCann to Tomaszek, quickly onto Cameron. Mikel looking for options, not too many around. Tomaszek with Austin McCann on the overlap. Good run. Needs a good ball in for Hearts. That's not it. Disappointing that, having made a good run but wasted possession.
Yeah, they haven't found themselves in the Celtic have too many occasions, and when you do get yourself into that sort of a position, then you want to make sure that you use the ball well. McCann will be very disappointed with the quality of that cross.
The new Celtic chief executive Ian McLeod watching the action and planning the club's future. Andy Kirk on the chase, and he was muscled out of that as much as anything else by Ramon Vega. He was desperately trying to get his toe to it to win a corner kick, but it's a bit of a man mountain to shift.
It's not too easy when it comes to physical strength against Vega, but key points for Hearts. They are getting into the Celtic half much more often now, and Craig Levein will be far happier with his team's performance in the second half.
Dundee United against Rangers is the fourth of the Tennant Scottish Cup quarter-finals, and it's live on Radio Scotland with a 6:05 kickoff. Don't forget as well your call, the phone in after that, which includes the draw for the Cup semi-finals. 2 places taken. Celtic favourites to win the 3rd spot in the last 4. And Dundee United and Rangers will battle it out at Tannadice tonight for the final place. Celtic haven't won the Scottish Cup since 1995. A reasonable bet this season, you would say, and still very much in the running in all 3 competitions. There could be a few winners' medals for Ramon Vega coming up. Jos Valhaeren. Foul given against Murray. Kenny Clark reckoned he was a bit over physical on Petrov.
Didn't think there was too much in this challenge, perhaps just a little jersey tug there.
Thompson beaten by Flugel, but it runs to Valhaeren. Mistake by Flugel, charged in. Thompson off Vega, Agat. Lubo Moravcik had a flash at it, 8 yards out. Chance gone after a mistake by Flugel.
Yeah, but superb work again from Thompson, electing for power, driving it across the face of the goal. Agat taking the power route as well, and Moravcik really no chance in converting that one.
Thomas Flugel certainly doesn't want to be diving into those sort of challenges against Alan Thompson. That was exactly the way the goal came about in the first half when Colin Cameron committed himself to the challenge. The cross was whipped in and Henrik Larsson scored. That time Hearts survived. 1-0 is still the difference. At this stage still a way back for Hearts. But they really have to start creating some chances. There have been precious few of those for them in the match so far. Celtic have dominated. Severin to McCann. And again. Mikel. Good pass. Robert Tomaszek stretched out, but couldn't quite get control. And as the rain pours down at Celtic Park, that one just skids away from him.
Yeah, Craig Levein, he will be far happier in the second half. They have threatened the Celtic goal a couple of times. They've looked pretty solid at the back, I feel, throughout the game, but far more importantly from a Hearts fan point of view, his team are having a go in the second half.
Murray, good pass. Cameron to Wanjo. Running at Valharan. Good play from Wanjo. Here's a chance for Hearts. Too high from Andy Kirk. But Wanjo was the threat. It was a good run. He outpaced Valharan.
The defenders don't like it when they get someone with pace running at them. Wanjo getting himself to the byline. A number of Celtic players round about them. Hearts unfortunate not to convert that one.
And Paul Lambert making an important challenge for the ball here, right in the 6-yard box, before the effort from Kirk went too high. And there's the face of frustration on the sidelines, Craig Levein. But Wanjo offering some hope to Hearts. He was at Barcelona under the management of Bobby Robson, but he only appeared once in the first team there before being allowed to move on. It's a good pass from Thompson. Vega couldn't get control of it. An important stage of the match. A second goal for Celtic would make you think that the outcome is settled. Hearts trying manfully to get a goal back and convince themselves that this cup tie is far from over. Mikel's under pressure. Neil Lennon snapping at his heels. McCann took too long. Agat blocked his clearance. Now Larsson. Moravchik. Paul Lambert supporting, but he won't catch that. The surface is playing a part because of the heavy rainfall, and any pass that's not really to Feetwilly is away.
Yeah, I thought Moravchik's touch just deserted him a little bit at the key moment. Lambert had made a net.
Yeah. Well, we apologise for the loss of sound here in the live game at Celtic Park. Chick Young behind the goal, behind the dugout, behind the Celtic dugout. It's Hearts break down the right side now. We'll bring you back full commentaries with Rob McLean and Willie Miller as soon as we possibly can. Wanjo down the right side for Hearts, trailing by a goal to nil. Wanjo cutting inside, he's got options here, and Celtic again break that up from the back. They can build down the left side with Alan Thompson. Outstanding game. Henrik Larsson, the goal scorer, trying to pick up the left side. Presley comes across and cuts off. There's Henrik Larsson, the goal scorer. First half, that goal separating the teams at the moment. Presley, outstanding game at the heart of the Hearts defence, but he's trying to urge his team back into this game. Hearts picked up with Colin Cameron moving forward through Wakel, trying to make progress down the left side. But again, the hard locking. Lennon gets across, intercepts for Celtic. Another outstanding game for Lennon this afternoon. Raman Vega at the back for Celtic. Again, can I apologise for the loss of sound?
And Lennon again slowing the game right down. Long ball from Vega, and Moravcik offside. Tomaszek, McCann, and Michael short with a pass for Austin McCann. In went Neil Lennon. Petrov won that 50-50 against Cameron. And all the way back to Rob Douglas. Thompson. Larsson's pass almost through, cut out by Thomas Flugel. Strong challenge by Petrov on Wanjo. He reckoned that was fair enough, but the free kick is given. I don't have a monitor, Mike, so Severin. Colin Cameron's header. Comfortable for Douglas. Thomas Flugel in a hurry to get on with it. That's Valharan. The ball skidding around, and last touch off Wanjo. Hearts will hope to see a bit more of him. He's been threatening in the second half. That was Flugel first to it before Larsson. Was intended for a gut from Thompson, didn't find its way through. Cameron. And a little flare up. Neil Lennon wasn't happy at all about the challenge from Tomaszek and told him so. Tomaszek speaks good English, so you would have had no problem, I don't think, apart from the Northern Ireland accent, in understanding exactly what Neil Lennon was saying to him there. Tommy Johnson could be on the pitch before too much longer. The word down below us is that Moravcik will give way and Tommy Johnson will come on. If you're wondering why we haven't heard Willie Miller for a while, a slight microphone problem. But we'll have him back with you before too much longer, maybe April. that against McCann. Too strong for Larsson, headed away by Flugel. I felt he was interrupting too much anyway. Wanjo finds Kirk, the layoff for Colin Cameron. And not quite a pass from Cameron, which would have released Andy Kirk through the middle. That was a promising opportunity for the Tynecastle team. Literally wrestling for possession, Presley and Larsson. It's a Celtic free kick.
Celtic issue for Celtic
Colin Cameron will be disappointed that he didn't get the final ball quite right here for Andy Kirk, otherwise there might well have been a chance for a crack at goal. Celtic will now make that substitution, and it's Manafchik off and Tommy Johnson on. Johnson's made just fleeting appearances in the Celtic first team this season, with Sutton and Larsson the first choice strike pairing. Lambert's free kick, and immediately Tommy Johnson getting a touch with his head. But it ran through for Niemi. Agat dancing away from the challenges. Lambert to Petrov. So strong, Cillian Petrov, turning away from the challenge there of Lee Makel. Willie and I are now sharing a microphone. Your turn.
It's a little bit difficult up here, Rob, but thanks for bringing me back into the game. But, you know, I think Hearts are still in it. Undoubtedly, Celtic still piling on the pressure.
Agat's cross. And that was out before Wanjo could keep it in. Not often you have any reason to criticise Henrik Larsson. That just slipped under his boot. Martin O'Neill will be pretty happy overall, happy his team is ahead, but 1-0 is always a fragile advantage, and despite the possession Celtic have and their domination over Hearts for much of the match, he would be a lot happier with another goal. That would make him breathe a little easier and feel a lot surer about Celtic heading for the semi-finals. Johnson's layoff. Long ball from Mjällby. Now Petrov. Larsson. Well cut out by Presley. Well, that's an interception by Agat for Celtic. Agat forcing the ball in. Presley got there before Johnson. Severin's header gets it further clear. Roaring away from Wanjo. Back with Valharan again. That was intended for Johnson. And Valharan's effort just too high. He has 4 goals for Celtic already to his credit, and he followed this up pretty well.
He did, and not a bad effort for a centre-back charging through, using his strength, perhaps. With the left foot, they're not getting over it just as well as you'd have hoped to, but good play from Valharan.
We're back to 2 microphones. You'll be glad to know we don't have to share anymore. I was a bit worried about your moustache. That's a foul given against Robert Tomaszek.
late in on Agat, the Slovak.
Oh dear, that's a bit of a mess, isn't it?
Not a pretty face. Tom Boyd is on the bench, so that's an obvious option for Martin O'Neill, although Melby might just want to be patched up and get back on in there. He's not one to give up on the action lightly.
No, I think they'll give it some time. Martin O'Neill won't want to make the changes because although Celtic have dominated this game, it still is very finely balanced.
Certainly it's as close as it's been this season between these two, although a long way to go. Nearly 20 minutes left. Agat slipping on what's become a treacherous surface now. Colin Cameron, good run by Hwangju. Stretching Celtic. Hwangju now needs support. Back from Murray. Thomas Flugel. Headed away by Lambert. And there he is again, tireless in the midfield. An insatiable appetite. Launching Celtic forward. Larson stopped by Murray, but that's out of play. But Paul Lambert, an example to everyone in what midfield is all about.
Yeah, so important. He plays that deep line role extremely well, and as an ex-defender myself, when you get a midfield player coming in and doing things like Paul Lambert can do, excellent example we just saw a couple of minutes ago there, then you've got to be pleased with that sort of a performance.
Scott Severin. Colin Cameron trying to get into attacking positions if he can. Hwangju against Valharan. He's had some joy in the second half. Tries again, but this time Valharan standing firm. Hwangju looking for support. He feels he's having to do it on his own at the moment and having a little tantrum. That was Flugel. Lennon taking no chances against his Northern Ireland squad colleague, Andy Kirk. Lennon having decided to play on for his country, and Kirk really just taking the first rung on the ladder in terms of his international career under the management of Sammy McIlroy. But a player of some potential, Andy Kirk, 10 goals already in the Maroon of Hearts this season. Free kick. Heavy challenge by Thompson on Hwangju.
Yeah, Hwangju very prominent in the second half, winning a free kick there, and I think rightly so.
Hearts desperately want this to be a good ball into the box. 5 to aim at inside the area for Lee Makel. Tomaszek is there, Presley too. Turns it back instead to Colin Cameron. You could see what Hearts were planning here, but not quite executed as they would have wanted it.
No, I don't think Colin Cameron's really looking for that ball. A real difficult opportunity for him to take. The ball being cut across the face. I don't think he was too happy actually receiving that free kick.
The live football continues from BBC Scotland. St Johnstone Hibs is our next live match from the SPL. Hibs still in with a chance of finishing second and getting into the Champions League qualifier. St Johnstone still hoping for a place in the top half dozen. That's at McDermott Park on the 1st of April. Word from down below us is that Melby won't be stitched up, and Tom Boyd will be on shortly as Alan Thompson forces another corner kick off Presley. So Tom Boyd will be on before too much longer. I think they were hoping, Celtic, that Melby might be patched up and brought back into the game.
But, someone elbowed Tom Boyd and said, get out of the dugout, you're on. An experienced campaigner to come into the game for Celtic. Larsson. That's a good bit of play from Robert Tomaszek, shutting him down quickly at the edge of the box.
Yeah, it was Tomaszek getting out very quick indeed there to put Larsson off. Larsson leaning back and putting the ball well over the bar.
So Johnson for Moravcik and now Boyd for Mjällby, the two Celtic changes. Hearts having reshuffled at half-time with Murray coming on for Boyack. Austin McCann, it's beyond Cameron, headed away by Vega. The pitch has taken an awful lot of rain, and the ball will be skidding around in the closing stages. And Hearts will want it to be skidding around inside the Celtic box. Free kick award from Kenny Clark, which didn't go down too well. Flugel. It's running away from Kirk.
I think it's probably a wise decision to bring Tom Boyd on. He's got everything that's required, bags of experience, no use in taking a chance with Mjällby.
Flugel, Meikle, given away. The pass played straight to Neil Lennon. Vega. Severin in the way. McCann doing his damnedest to keep possession. And a foul given for the challenge there on Scott Severin. "12 minutes left. And Hearts about to bring on Gary McSwagan. They have to go for it now. So Hearts for the last few minutes will have McSwagan up alongside Kirk. Alan Thompson, Celtic looking for the goal, which would seal it. Thompson's cross as well beyond Johnson and Larsson. Kept in by Agat. In from Vega. Away by Murray. Lee Meikle, I gather, is the player who will come off for Hearts, midfield player off, striker on. And Craig Levein wants to make that switch now. As play goes on, and Lee Meikle was already running towards the touchline.
Yeah, Meikle goes off. I don't think it's surprising that Craig Levein is having a go in the last 10 minutes or so of this game. We've really got nothing to lose. Meikle going off, McSwagan coming on, it gives him firepower up front, and at last Kirk will have a partner.
Foul throw against Vega. He's now playing on the right side of the back three since Tom Boyd came on. Boyd in the middle, Vega right, Valhaden left. Paul Lambert has it. Larsson stumbled over the ball. That allowed Severin to step in. Then Severin overran it. And he's conceded a free kick in what could be a serious situation.
That's a dangerous area to give away the free kick, the foul on Petrov by Severin, just over hitting the ball, stretching for it, no doubt about it, as a free kick.
Directly in front of goal after the foul on Petrov, 25 yards out. Certainly well within range for Henrik Larsson.
who is placing the ball very carefully as Santiniemi lines up the wall for Hearts. Every maroon shirt between him and the ball. But he'll want to get a good sighting. Thompson is there as well for Celtic, but it looks like Larsson. In fact, it's Thompson. It's a fairly tame effort and easily held by Niemi.
Yeah, it wasn't it? No power in the strike at all. Good direction, you can see what he's trying to do, but you really got to get some power in the ball.
9 minutes and counting. Celtic heading for the semi-finals. Unless Hearts can come up with something in these closing stages. And Willie Miller still with the job, of course, between now and full time of picking the man of the match.
And I can tell you it's very tight and 2 in it.
Don't tell us yet. We like the suspense. Flugel's pass intercepted by Valhalla. Grant Murray, who's done well for Hearts since he's come on in the midfield. You must have heard me. The pass well away from the intended target. Martin O'Neill won't be bothered whether it's 1-0 or 6-0 as long as Celtic get through into the last 4 of the Cup. And remember, Dundee United against Rangers is the 4th quarter-final, and it's live on Radio Scotland. That's a 6:05 kick-off. Sportsound on air from 5:30. Your call, the phone in, follows on, and that includes the draw for the semi-finals. Cameron to Flugel. Wanjo wants it. Now gets it. And Ramon Vega in charge at the back post. Andy Kirk was threatening, and Vega nodded it behind for a corner kick. And Hearts have had so few opportunities to put pressure on Celtic that they really have to maximise the possibilities here. Wanjo takes it short to Cameron. In from Wanjo again, and a glancing header which skids wide from Stephen Presley.
Presley gets himself a little bit of room in the box here. Good movement, gets a little header on it as well, but I do feel that the Celtic had it covered. Strong men on the post, plenty of bodies back there, but a little bit concerning for Martin O'Neill that Stephen Presley got that sort of a room.
Tomaszek's header. Back it comes with interest from Vega, missed by Seferin. Larsson for Johnson, that's well cut out by Presley. Threatening at one end and then plugging the gaps at the other. Neil Lennon gets it back from Stilian Petrov. Fouled by Robert Tomaszek.
Still working very hard in the midfield. Hearts, they haven't given up this game. Tomaszek there putting in a heavy challenge.
Didier Agat forces the ball in. Murray. That's off Tomaszek. Celtic throw. More pressure for Hearts to try to withstand. The last touch there adjudged to be off Agat. It's a Hearts throw. A Celtic free kick for that challenge on Petrov. And we're inside the last 5 minutes of the match. Thompson's cross. Out comes Niemi. Looked as if he should have caught that, but elected to punch.
Agat stumbled and then won it back. And that's a Hearts free kick. He's a popular figure in these parts. And Kenny Clark making himself unpopular by giving a free kick against him. McCann looking for McSwiggan. Miscue by Boyd. A few ricochets. Now it's with Neil Lennon. Larsson against Presley. Severin got there before it went through to Johnson. Cameron to McCann. Tomaszek making a run forward. It's covered by Vega. In from McCann, away from Valhanen. Murray to Wanjo. He's looked a good player in the second half, Wanjo. Cameron, Murray, Colin Cameron again. Austin McCann turns inside Agat. His right foot effort, just too high. Hearts have to push and push and push.
No, they do. They have to throw everything at Celtic to try and get the deficit clawed back. McCann on this occasion having a go from quite far out. A lot of Celtic bodies back there and they're just drifting over the bar.
Good to hear Willie Miller again. Sorry for the lack of him during the second half, but the rainfall not just causing problems on the pitch, but causing problems with the electrics as well for us. But normal service restored as far as Celtic are concerned, because at the moment they're heading for the semi-finals of the Cup. At the moment, Henrik Larsson with the only goal. Tomaszek against Lennon. Hearts throw. Just 2 minutes of regulation time to go. Agat wins possession, surges forward. Brilliant run. And gets a free kick. Takes a fair bit of stopping, Willie.
It does, yeah. Very powerful player. Did Agat once he gets a head of steam up. Powerful, quick, and very difficult to dispossess.
Ramon Vega's free kick. Larsson the target. Flugel's clearance flies out of play.
Yeah, and that's my man of the match, Alan Thompson. Absolutely outstanding. He's been very prominent down the left-hand side and some superb crosses into the box.
Willie Miller killing the rumour that he always goes for Henrik Larsson as man of the match. Johnson. Away by Severin. Only as far as the man of the match. Losing out for once to Colin Cameron. Flugel. Thompson again. With a substitute Johnson. Alan Thompson with a delicate ball down the line for Johnson. Wasn't sure if that was going to reach the goal line for a minute, but it eventually found its way there, with Presley holding off Johnson. Now just 20 seconds of the 90 minutes remaining, plus stoppage time to come. 3 minutes to be added. Johnson away from Flugel. Support from Petrov. Boundless energy from him. Here he is again, the 21-year-old Bulgarian. Wanjo, maybe the best hope for Hearts, that they can turn this into a replay. Kirk threatening against Boyd. Here's Wanjo. Tomaszek.
disappointing end to that attack for Hearts. Severn, Cameron, Murray, Flugel. Useful for Gary McSwiggan. Blocked by Robert Douglas. That was a real chance for McSwiggan to square the game. It's a difficult surface, it's a slippery ball, and Gary McSwiggan couldn't quite get that under control and tuck it away from Douglas. And now Celtic can seal it with Johnson. Good challenge. Grant Murray covering across. But Willie, what a chance for McSwiggan.
It was a really difficult one to take. A superb pass here from Flogel, and McSwiggan on the corner tries to take it down with his chest. It just rolls off his chest, then he loses his footing. Not an easy chance, but a real chance.
90 seconds added already to the 90 minutes, and 90 seconds to go if you followed that. Alan Thompson's corner kick. Scott Severin's header away. Back in from Boyd. Vega's flick. Here's Johnson. And another heroic intervention from Scott Severin. But the flag was up for offside in any case. Wouldn't have counted had Johnson forced it in.
Yeah, it wouldn't. And, you know, Johnson, just the ball coming off the ground there. But Severin, if you could have a second man of the match, he would have been my second man of the match. He's been absolutely outstanding as well.
Well, you seem to be rewriting the rules, so if you want two men of the match, you can have them. But Alan Thompson getting the vote from Willie for a top player. Cameron for Hearts. McCann edged out of it by a cat. Larson on the counter-attack. Inviting McCann to come and get it. Corner kick. It's full time. Henrik Larsson has won it for Celtic. Celtic through to the semi-finals of the Tennant Scottish Cup. A 43rd goal of the season for Larsson. An unstoppable header it was in the first half, 5 minutes from half-time. He was unmarked by Hearts, and how he punished them, because Antti Niemi got his hand to the header, but he couldn't keep it out. Bulged the top corner of the net. And Celtic beat Hearts this season for a 5th time. Hearts gave it everything in the second half, tried to power their way back in. Hwangjo was a threat for them, but it's these Celtic supporters who are celebrating tonight, Willie.
Yeah, and you've got to say that Celtic are deserved winners, totally dominated in the first half, but a lot of credit has got to go to Hearts. In the second half they come out, far better attitude, took the game to Celtic, but at the end of the day Celtic were the winners, I feel, in some outstanding performances.
And Gary McSwiggan heads down the tunnel, and he'll be reflecting on that chance at the end, which would have taken this tie to a replay. But not too much doubt that Celtic deserved their win by a 1-0.
So Celtic go into the semi-final draw, which will take place later this evening. And Craig, I think you have to say it was a rather flat and almost uneventful second half, really, wasn't it?
It was a bit, but I give good credit to Craig Levein at half-time, because he tightened things up remarkably. A good substitution, bringing on Grant Murray. And again, another good substitution towards the end, bringing on a striker, McSwiggan, who might have equalised at the end. So Hearts did very well in the second half, and I've got to give them credit, although it looked always that Celtic were going to run out winners.
Yeah, to be fair, the conditions didn't look all that well. Mick, I'll come to you in a second, but I hear that the man of the match, Alan Thompson, is ready to talk to Chick.
Alan, that's something stronger than a Lucozade to give you a bottle of champagne a moment, but you must have enjoyed that game.
Yeah, it was difficult, yeah. Hearts relished the chance of coming in, playing some decent football, and they made it difficult for at times, and fortunately got a 1-0 win, yeah.
Hearts kept coming back at you, didn't they?
Yeah, they had a few chances, they played some good stuff, you know, they got some comfortable players on the ball, Lee Maitland and Colin Cameron and people like that, you know, can cause you problems. The lad Kirk up front sharp, so yeah, we're delighted with the win.
How are you enjoying the left wing back role?
Yeah, it's difficult, yeah. I think Bobby's nearly fit, so might be having to move back inside, we'll see.
Another big game next week, the treble could be on for you?
Yeah. A lot of games to go. We've got 9 league games, I think, so got to take each game as it comes.
Congratulations, bottle of champagne for you taking the dressing room, courtesy of tenants. Thank you. Cheers, Alan.
Yes, Alan Thompson had laid on the winning goal for Henrik Larsson. Mick, I was going to ask you about the conditions, because it got quite wet, quite slippery out there in the second half, and that didn't help, did it?
I don't think that affects the game, to be quite honest. I think the players enjoy playing in those conditions. The ball zips around. I think Hearts didn't contribute in the first half. Second half they did. Craig's talked about the substitutions, and whatever he said at half time, they played far better. They maintained possession better, and they did had a couple of chances, and they had one. It was a great chance at the end, actually, for McSwiggan.
Yes.
Had he took the flight of the ball better, he could have equalised there.
Yeah, you wonder whether Hearts would have perhaps deserved the draw, because for me, Celtic always looked in.
No, it was as a comfortable a 1-0 victory as you're going to get. And sometimes, if the opposition aren't going to come out and play against you, you get 1-0 up. Take 1-0.
And here is the goal, which won it for Celtic and takes them into the semi-finals. And a well-worked and well-taken goal, Craig.
Yes, it was. Disappointed. The young Colin Cameron went down. He grounded himself, but Flogel should have been out, I thought, covering the space. But what a cross and a magnificent header! You know, back against the goalkeeper's balance. Everything about that was perfect. The cross was perfect. Enough space on the ball so that he just had to redirect it against the goalkeeper, and a great header. Typical Larsson header, of course. But Hearts will be saying, why did Thompson have all the space? Why was it Colin Cameron who was the last man out to tackle him?
Yes, absolutely. Having said that, Henrik Larsson is a phenomenon, Mick, and you too, every international manager in the world, I think, would probably like to have Henrik Larsson in his squad, wouldn't he?
Without a doubt. We both talk about this. We talked about this recently, about quality of strikers. And I was saying what I got, and Craig was very envious. He said, really, the two of us would be delighted to have somebody of that quality. Fantastic goal scorer.
Yeah. What would you say are his chief attributes? There are many, Craig, but what do you say are the chief
Well,
attributes?
he's got everything. His chief attribute is pace and control. He's never knocked off the ball. He's slightly built, but he's tough. He's got an upper body with good strength there. But it's just, he's got perfect balance, good control. He never complains. I mean, he got a shocking leg break, didn't he?
Yes. Yeah.
He recovered from that, and he's back at his best again. And Sweden are really fortunate at international level to have Larsson, and Celtic at club level. I mean, we are envious.
Can I just talk about, well, briefly on the international scene, the Gary McAllister situation, which there seems to have been a misunderstanding about?
Well, not really. Gary maintains that he's adopted the same stance. He said in an interview about a month ago that if we were stuck, he wouldn't see us stuck. He's really, really committed to Scotland, but only in emergency. He didn't really want to commit himself to come back full time.
So who defines the emergency? You do, I
So I
suppose.
do. Well, I phoned him, and I spoke with Gerard Houllier on Thursday and with Gary, and they're both very favourably disposed to Scotland and to international football. But he wants to retain the stance that he had, and that was, in emergency, we call him up. But at the moment, he doesn't want to be picked in the squad. He won't be picked in Thursday's squad, unfortunately.
Right, good. Thanks for clearing that up for us. Let's just see that last minute chance, or very near to the last minute chance for Gary McSwiggan then. And it could very well have earned Hearts the replay here, but you were talking about it.
Well, it's just his touch, isn't it? He's done very well. He's got off the shoulder of Tom Boyd. And whether he just took his eye off it or what, but that is a great chance, you know. I tell you what, if Larsson had got that chance, I'd have been in the back of the net, because his first touch would have been better, and he'd have gone round the keeper and put it in the net.
Yeah, that's the difference. You know, it's just the striker on form with the eye for goal. But good goalkeeping, I thought. Robert Douglas stood up well there. And it would have been difficult for him even if he controlled it well, but you know, it's a Larsson goal. Gary McSween maybe not on long enough to be properly warmed up to get the touch right.
Yeah, maybe counter against them. That's almost it from us for today. It is a victory for Celtic by a 1-0 over Hearts here at Celtic Park. They will go into the semi-final draw tonight, along with Hibs and Livingston, and of course either Dundee United or Rangers, who meet later on at Tannadice. Our next live match is the SPL match on the 1st of April, and that's at McDiarmid Park, St Johnstone against Hibs, and on that day Hibs will certainly hope to be still in contention for a Champions League place, and Johnstone will be hoping to confirm a place in the top 6 of the SPL. That's live on the 1st of April, St Johnstone against Hibs from McDiarmid Park. But the story here is that Celtic have kept their unbeaten home records. They have beaten Hearts by a 1-0 almost inevitably. Henrik Larsson, the scorer. Our thanks to Mick McCarthy and Craig Brown. Good luck to you both for the internationals to come. Bye from Parkhead.